Hi everybody, Claire here from Van Isle Labradoodles, and I have the three beautiful chocolate phantom Labradoodle puppies from the Cinnamon Swirl litter. And today we're here to do their 2-week update. So we're going to give you a little bit of a synopsis about what they've been up to this past week, any accomplishments they've made, how Hazel's doing, and then we're going to talk a bit about finding a good vet and the right type of trainer for when you bring your Labradoodle puppy home with you. So we're going to start with Cinnamon here. Cinnamon is being quite talkative. She's not too sure what's going on because Mom's not here. So she's here today with me, and she is going to show you the major accomplishment for this litter in the past week. Eyes are open. So you can see her beautiful eyes. They're blue for now, but those will change as time goes on. Puppies are born with blue eyes, but they don't stay blue. So Cinnamon is doing really well. The weight gain continues to be great with these puppies. She now weighs 1.3 kilograms. So she has more than quadrupled her birth weight, which is really terrific for 2 weeks. So she's doing fabulously. Nice little puppy, a little bit squeaky now and then. She's sure to tell Hazel when she figures she needs a turn at the milk bar. But otherwise, she's a lovely little girl. This whole litter is very nice and quiet. So we'll put her back down here. And beside Cinnamon is her brother, the only boy in this litter, and that is Choco. And here is Choco looking ever so handsome. He is a gorgeous chocolate phantom, as I'm sure you'll remember, and you can see his pretty eyes as well. So he's also going to give you a little bit of a squeak. I think they're just a little bit concerned about how come they aren't in their regular bed right now. We've moved them to shoot this video, so they're a little perturbed about that. Anyways, Choco's doing great. He continues to be the biggest puppy in the litter, and he weighs in now at 1.6 kilograms. And he too has more than quadrupled his birth weight. So another excellent gain for him. And our last puppy here is Swirl. And Swirl is, of course, also a chocolate phantom with these beautiful white markings that she has. And you can see her pretty eyes as well. She's going to show them to you, I'm sure. There they are. They show up nicely in the beautiful chocolate color she has. Swirl is the quietest of the three puppies. She almost never makes a peep. She's very accepting of everything in the world and really enjoys her life. And Swirl is up to 1.3 kilograms, so she too has done really fabulously with her weight gain. So that's the puppies and their eyes open for their big accomplishment this week. They're up on all fours now. They're running around a fair bit. They're starting to interact with one another, and they're extremely mobile and able to move about without any trouble. I'll just put her back there with her siblings. So the puppies continue to get stronger and start to interact quite a bit more now. And this is probably the last update that we'll have from the maternity ward. We may still have them with us next week, or we may have moved them by the weekend. We have a puppy family visit for the Razzle Dazzle litter on Saturday. So because we have that going on, we may delay moving them for a few more days. But usually around 3 to 3.5 weeks, it's time for them to have a little bit more space to stretch their legs and start eating some solid food and get out into the nursery area. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, they'll stay in the maternity ward. And we've moved the Shake It Up litter in with Hazel since the Razzle Dazzle litter is moved out. So we have the two of them in my office now. So they are there to keep each other company. The two litters are almost the same age. And indeed, 2 of the puppies from the Shake It Up litter are actually part of this litter in terms of nursing. Because Breezy has 11 puppies, we have given 2 of those puppies to Hazel, as she only has 3. So we just try to even things out a bit. And both moms think that's fine, and the puppies all get along fabulously. All of the Shake It Up puppies opened their eyes up this past week too. So maybe they were influenced by these puppies. Who knows? So this week we're going to talk a little bit about some steps you need to take and should start taking now with respect to finding yourself a vet and a really good trainer. So we'll start with the vet. Having a good vet is really important to having an excellent relationship with a vet and having good care for your puppies. And you want to find a vet that mirrors your style, your philosophy, your approach, a vet who's at least familiar with Labradoodles. You may have to educate the vet and tell them the difference between a Labradoodle and an Australian Labradoodle and a multi-gen Labradoodle, but one at least who knows a little bit about the breed and is familiar with some of the aspects of the breed. And the other things you want to do when you're looking for a vet is check out their clinic. Is it one that you feel comfortable in? Is it designed to be comfortable for both you and the dog? And are they welcoming? Is everything clean? Is it all set up to be safe for your puppy? The other thing you might want to see is, do they have emergency after hour care? Now, some vets don't, and that doesn't mean the vet isn't a good vet, but it may be something that's important to you depending on where you live and the proximity to emergency care. If you're in a major center, usually there are several emergency care centers that are going to be close by you. If you're in a smaller community such as I am, the true emergency care center is an hour away from me. So I need to be sure that my vet in my clinic is available after hours if I have an emergency, especially since we always have so many puppies. So check that out and see what their policy is for that. What hours are they open? Is it important to you that you be able to go on a Saturday, for instance? Is it important that you have appointments after normal working hours because you want everyone in the family to be able to attend the appointments? Maybe it's not, maybe it is. All those sorts of things. And then what is your approach? Are you more of a traditional type person or a holistic or a blend? And talk to the vet that you're considering and find out what their approach is. Have some questions sort of laid out that you want to ask them. And what I would suggest is that you book an appointment, let them know that you're looking for a vet because you're getting a new puppy. Tell them you're getting an Australian Labradoodle, and you just want to take up 20 minutes of their time, ask them a few simple questions, and just have a look around the clinic. Most vets are happy to do that, but do expect to pay a fee for it. Most of them won't do it for free. If they do, well, hey, that's a bonus. But when we chose our vet, we interviewed 9 vets, and we happily paid them for their time before we found the one that worked best with our philosophy, our approach, had the right hours, and the sort of things that we were looking for. You also want to find out how easy it is to make an appointment. Do you have to book a long time in advance, or are you able to get in fairly quickly because they have enough vets available? And if you have an emergency that isn't where you would go to the actual emergency clinic, but is something that you're feeling very uncomfortable about, how much space do they have in a day to accommodate that sort of thing? So recently we had a puppy who had diarrhea, and I was worried enough about that puppy to the point I wanted to take the puppy into the vet. My vet always has time through the day to be able to accommodate those sorts of situations. That's critical to me. Obviously, I have lots of puppies, and so it's more important to me, but it's something that you probably want to know too. And of course, the best reference of all is word of mouth, what your friends and family have to suggest. And if you have friends with a Labradoodle, many of you who are getting a puppy from us come to us from a referral. Ask those people, what vet are you going to and why did you like them? And for sure, post on the owner's Facebook page that we have for all our Van Isle families and just ask, when you looked for a vet, what did you look for? What was important to you? What do you like best about your vet? What do you find that you don't like? And then take that into consideration when you do your questions. It'll be really helpful. And the other thing that you should start looking into is a trainer. So you've heard me talk on many of our videos about Labradoodles and their temperament and how this is a very gentle, soft breed. These dogs have been designed to be family dogs and to be very soft and gentle. So they need a trainer who recognizes that and has a positive training method, not one who has a heavy-handed approach. So you don't want a trainer who is like a Cesar Millan, who is used to dealing with aggressive dogs and dogs who are not soft at all. Nothing wrong with his approach and nothing wrong with the dogs he works with, but they aren't the same as a Labradoodle. Now, in my previous life, when I was a purebred breeder, I bred Siberian Huskies. And Siberian Huskies are entirely different in their nature to Labradoodles. And the training that I did with my Siberian Huskies followed a completely different route than the approach and the methods that I use with my Labradoodles. So when you're looking for a trainer, again, post on the Facebook group for the owners, ask around for people who live in your area, and if there is someone who lives in your area. We have people with puppies all over the place: Williams Lake, Kelowna, Calgary, Edmonton, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, all over Vancouver Island, the Lower Mainland. You'll pretty much find a puppy somewhere from us in your general area. So ask them for advice. Who did you go to for training? And what method did they use? There's several different methods, and the two things you'll hear the most are luring and shaping. And we've talked about that several times in other videos with other litters. And the main difference between those approaches is if you're shaping your dog's behavior, and let's say you want to teach them how to sit, you wait until your dog sits and then you reward them for that behavior. And that's how they learn that that's what you want them to do. If you're luring your dog, you use a treat and you lure them into the behavior you want to do, which in this instance would be a sit, and then you reward them yet again. So it just depends on what you prefer. Personally, I prefer the luring method, probably because I'm not very patient, but I just find it's more successful, and to me it seems more intuitive for the dog and easier for the dog to understand. That may be entirely wrong. I'm not a trainer, but it is the approach I prefer. Some trainers today too have a system where they never teach the dog the word no, and the dog is never told, that's not behavior that I'm looking for. That's not an approach I'm crazy about. I don't know too many dogs who've been raised that way, but I do know some children that have been raised that way, and I generally tend to find that the dogs prefer to have the boundaries. They're happier knowing what is expected of them and what is not acceptable behavior. So it's not my favorite approach, but if it's one that you find that works for you, then that's what's the most important thing. What really matters is you find a trainer who mirrors your approach and your philosophies and is going to teach you how to teach your dog in a way that you can learn from effectively. It's really more about you at this point, provided you have the basics there for a soft, positive trainer, and not one who's going to be, you will do this and this is how you will do it. No choke collars or prong collars should ever be used on really any dog, but particularly not on a Labradoodle, because they are too soft and don't respond to that. I'm just picking the puppies up one at a time here just to give them some time with me and to make sure that they've got lots of attention for the day. We do handle them throughout the day, but whenever I have an opportunity, I like to cuddle with them a little bit extra, just because it makes me feel good, but I think it's good for them too. So once you have narrowed it down to a couple of trainers that look like they might possibly be good ones and a good fit with you, then ask to come and observe a couple of puppy classes. And take the time and go to those classes. Watch the puppies, watch the trainer, and watch the people, and see how the class goes. And is it the type of atmosphere that you're going to feel comfortable in? Is it the type of atmosphere that you find is going to be beneficial to both you and to your puppy? So you should be looking for puppies that are happy and lively and people who are having fun. And mostly what you're learning at puppy classes is just for your puppy to get along with other puppies and other people. Not so much the learning how to sit and stay. That's a little bit later on in the process. But for now, what you really want is your puppy to be in a new situation and happily accept that new situation and look forward to it each week. So go into a couple of classes and watch, Look at the equipment. Is it in good repair? Are the facilities safe? Do you feel comfortable going there? If you're in a major center like Vancouver or Richmond and you're going to your puppy classes in the evening, is the parking lot well lit? Is it safe for you to be in and your puppy? Is there somewhere nearby where your puppy can go pee? And is it easy for your puppy to go pee there? All those things are things to take into consideration. The other thing you want to do is make sure that the trainer and the training facility, if it's a facility, are certified. Anybody can say they're a dog trainer and anybody can offer classes, but you want to find a trainer who's actually learned something, been taught by a professional, and has professional certification. If you find one and you're not sure whether they're legitimate or not, feel free to ask me and I'll help you determine whether that is a trainer that has some validity or not. The other way is look for social media. Look at their Facebook page. Look at their Instagram account. Look at their website. Does it look like they've been around for a while? Do they have actual photos of actual dogs they've trained? Do they have a blog post? Maybe they do a podcast. All sorts of things like that. Something where you can find their credibility and their legitimacy. So similar when you were looking for a breeder and you found us, it was easy to recognize through social media and our website that we were legitimate and that we have a presence in the world. So those are the sorts of things you want to check for. But I would suggest you do both of these things now, and because you want to have them both organized and in hand before your puppy comes home to you, which isn't all that long from now. Especially trainers, if they're a good trainer and you're going to be getting your puppy in spring, they're going to be busy and booking up fairly quickly. So you'll want to get that done probably even before the vet. Now, part of your health warranty requires that 3 days after you pick your puppy up, you take your puppy in for an examination by your vet. So you'll want to know what that date is and make sure you have that appointment booked fairly soon. Again, it's spring, it's around spring break, so vets and everybody to do with dogs tends to get busy at that time of the year. So that's your tips for the week, and that's our update on the puppies. Like I said, next week maybe we'll be coming to you from a different location and the puppies will have moved. It's getting close to when they're going to be eating solid food. It won't be next week yet. We will be worming the puppies this week. They're old enough for that to happen, so we will be doing that. And that's about all they're going to be having to endure this week from us. And we hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a thumbs up. Be sure to comment below and let us know if you have any questions. And we hope you're a subscriber and keeping up with all of our regular videos. We have 4 a week right now. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.